Hi everyone,
Hi,
I'm Lisa,
and I'm Renee,
and together we are the Tapping Duo. So welcome back after 2 weeks. We weren't here last week. Do you want to comment or?
I had a little accident in dance class and got my results today, and I will have surgery in the next week or so. Happened on Tuesday, so here we are.
Yep. So last week we know that dear old Doug Flutie went home.
Yes, so let's send him home right away.
So here's Doug. See? You know, it's interesting because I didn't miss him.
No, it is. I didn't either.
And I do find that interesting that when the dancer goes home, I don't miss them. I never say to myself, oh, I wonder what they would have done.
Yeah, I get it. Well, want to send the other two home before we talk about everybody? Or do you want to do it at the end?
Oh, sure, we can go ahead and send them home.
Yeah, why don't we just go ahead?
Spoiler alert. Who are the two that went home? Von Miller and your favorite?
Whitney? Oh, well, Whitney went home too. Okay, Kim Fields.
Yes, Tootie.
And my favorite, Sasha.
You didn't like either of them.
No, I Bye, Kim.
Bye, Vaughn.
I thought Vaughn was cute. I thought he had the right attitude. For me, so much of dancing is really the attitude in which the person brings to the dance floor. I really felt like Kim Fields is very entitled. She has a lot of confidence. I don't know her life, but she mentioned the Jacksons, and I'm sure there's a totally different feel when you grow up with people that are so in the limelight. And she was too at a very young age.
Yes.
So I'm sure she was very confident in everything that she does. Much like Raven Simone on The View.
Yes.
I tell you, she is one confident young girl, and she's still so young and so many of her thoughts. She hasn't grown up past where she's at in her 20s. And Tootie has, I mean, Kim Fields has, but I still felt like when she got sent home last night, she was upset. Rather than being grateful that she had the experience, she was upset. And that, I don't like that.
Right, but that's probably how she attacks life. You know, there are those who attack life constantly grateful, and those who don't think about being grateful or not being grateful just plow forth, you know?
Yeah, they need to think about being grateful.
Yeah, but I mean, that's literally two completely different mindsets.
I know. I understand what you're saying.
Because I'm thinking Kim's like that in her life, which is probably how she's gotten where she's gotten, because that seems to work.
For her. Right.
You know?
For her. Because there's a lot of people that get to where they need to get, and they're very humble about it, and they still get to where they need to be too. I don't find that she is a humble person. I don't know her. I hate to critique people when I don't know them. But when I saw her go home, and she was on Good Morning America this morning, and she was still upset. I mean, I don't know if Sasha, I don't know him either. He's not one of my favorite pros. He could not be a pro anymore, and I'd be fine. That's a person I wouldn't miss. You know.
Do you think, though, that... Okay, let's say I was in that dancing competition, all right? I know my personality pretty well. I'd be closer to Kim Fields than I would be to you. And so I might still be harboring some sort of frustration over it, not thinking about being on national TV, so disappointed in myself, expecting more. But is it okay because I'm not on national TV and she's on national TV and just is supposed to put on that smile and go, oh, what a great opportunity that was.
Yes, she should do that. She should really do that. I mean, it's not like she doesn't have a great life, right? I mean,
we all have a great life, but there's all things that we harbor.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
No, I know what you mean. This show is a show of opportunity for somebody to grow with amazing choreographers and teachers. And to actually be upset, even though you've had all this great stuff go on, and to be upset. She could be mad at herself. I don't care. She can be mad.
But she needs to step back and do big picture here.
Yeah, she was on a dance show that taught her amazing choreography with a pro, and I'm sure she's rough on herself. I'm sure she's tough. And that's when she just needs to pull back and go, okay, I'm tough on myself, but not everybody else needs to suffer from me looking like a big baby.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, she could be as upset as she wants. I'm not telling her she can't be. You know, I get really mad too at things that I can't or can't do.
But there's a time and a place.
Well, I don't even know. You said that like a parent. There's a time and a place for
I was thinking of some commercial.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that when you are...
No texting in the movies. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, there's a time and a place. No texting in the movies. But I was thinking about how you've got Ginger and Niall and Paige and Wanye. Those are probably the top four. Would you?
I would agree.
Well, then you've got Jody, who's really coming up.
She's a fighter.
She is. She's a fighter. And am I missing someone?
Antonio, but I think he's working his way.
Yeah, home. Antonio. I was surprised. I thought either Antonio and Vaughn last night, but it ended up being Kim and Antonio, Vaughn. So I think Antonio will probably be next.
Yes.
And then probably Jody. I
think Niall might go home sooner.
Well, if he does, he might. I still appreciate watching him though.
Yes, he brings viewership, but as far as growth, we may have hit a top.
Well, okay, let's talk about Wanya then. Wanya,
he
hit his top the first night. I mean, I was trying to think if I have seen him improve. For me, improvement in dance is being able to transform into each character depending on the musicality of the dance, the type of dance, and to turn into a waltz, to turn into a samba, to turn into a jive, to turn into...
But the dancer becomes the dance, not the dance becomes the person. And
who just dances the same.
Just dances the same, right. Just takes the dance and molds it to him.
And he's really good.
Yes.
He's really good at bye, bye, bye. You know, I know he's not in that group, but you know what I mean? He's a funky dancer, right? You look at the pros. The pros put in all those different techniques into the dance, right?
Yes.
They put in funky, they put in soft, they put in elegant, their movement. They become every number that the music is. Wanye, as good as he is, only stays Wanye. He's true to Wanye.
I agree 100% with that.
And that's why I'd like to see Wanye go home. They need to work on him changing who he is and just be good at that because he's already good.
Yes.
I'm watching Ginger grow.
Yes.
I mean, that waltz she did last night, Val did a phenomenal job on the choreography with that waltz.
That was beautiful. That was just beautiful.
And Jody, so beat up from the...
previous week for Pink.
And there's a girl who's trying.
Absolutely, right. And trying to become the song, the music, the dance. But I will agree with you that Wanye has not yet done that. Antonio has not done that.
No.
Niall, I don't know.
It's hard to judge him because he's following, and that's all he can do.
Yeah, and I did what you did last night. I actually turned off the song.
Oh, yeah.
When he was dancing to just see. And
he just knew where his marks were. He's just totally marking. Yes. And he does a great job marking.
Without question.
You know.
But I'm not sure he's emoting.
Yeah, I'm not sure he
can emote. And he might need music to emote.
Yeah, I don't
know the answer to that.
I mean, the Jim Carrey mask helped him look like... You know.
That's true. So you'd say last night, even setting aside the voting or the scoring, because we know the judges love Ginger and Paige, right? Would you agree with that analysis, Ginger and Paige? Were the top of the night?
Absolutely for me. Boy, when Paige... I was telling Lisa today that when we were talking about this before, I had to watch Paige's dance twice because at first, Paige looked behind.
Absolutely.
She looked behind Mark. And then I realized she wasn't behind Mark. Her steps were just a little bit more executed large rather than keeping them small. And what I always tell my students in the tap classes that I teach is that in the beginning numbers, they're always big motor skill. You do something big. Yes. But as you get better and faster, you have to make them smaller. So as she was learning the jive, those quick steps that we call penguins, but they're not, I'm sure, called penguins in jive. But the Mark barely came off the floor. So he was able to just really right?
Yeah.
Where she was like working her legs, and which made her a little later, not later, look like she was later. Because when I watched back, she would hit the floor when he did, but her motor skill was larger, so
and your eye
off.
went to that motor skill because there was something to see where you weren't watching Mark's feet because he never left the floor really.
Yeah, he just, what a fast number. I was like, whoa, that was amazing. She did a great job. I mean, when you think about two of them, you've got Paige, who did a great job that way, and then you have the beautiful waltz from Ginger, and that song. I mean, how can you beat that song, right? So when you have that going, and they both get 10s, two different styles.
Right.
Now we got some growth.
Yeah.
So I did love seeing that. However, let's go back. Can we go back to Jody?
Sure.
Tell them what I said about Keo.
Okay, so apparently last night on TV when they were interviewing Keo was getting very competitive, I guess. He really wanted to win and go as far as he could. And the question that we raised was, okay, where's that pressure coming from? Is this Keo on a mission to get the mirror ball? Is this Keo and Jody on a mission to get the mirror ball? Or is this ABC putting pressure on Keo that if he wants to keep Dancing with the Stars, he needs to take his star further?
Keo.
So, what do you think?
I don't know. Last night in the package, now, like I said, you don't see the whole thing, but he said, this is as far as I've gotten in one of these competitions. So now he's in competition with himself. And I noticed that he misstepped, and Jody didn't. And Jody looked wrong because he's the pro. But I went, but Jody wasn't wrong. And then I was happy to see that Carrie Ann had mentioned it because he lost his footing. But he said he didn't lose his footing, but he did. And I think he's really nervous about going home. And he needs to relax. There must be such competition with these A personalities that are so strong and having to compete with each other.
Yes.
I feel like Mark is just getting, well, you know, you're talking, I'm going to skip over here. You know how you were talking about missing somebody?
Yes.
Okay. I miss Derek. I just miss Derek. Mark is stepping up, and I noticed Val's choreography has stepped up. So I'm happy to see that.
Right. They ended the show last night with a girls dance and a guys dance. I preferred the guys dance. I knew usually when they add the girls and the guys, they give 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, so it really has no impact on the scoring. And last night, clearly they didn't judge the two dances equally, as if they actually mattered. So did you have a favorite between the guys and the girls?
Oh yeah, the James Brown's routine. The girls did a much better job choreographing the guys than the guys choreographing the girls. I noticed that there was a team effort, taking care of the boys, the nurturing that women do, taking care of them, making sure they had their spot, especially with Niall, having to know where he needed to be, because that was a lot of information for somebody who can't hear. He just needed to really, I can't follow them, I got to follow them, wait, I'm supposed to be here, I've got to put my hand up there, and they had marked it, so when they put their hand on him, Peta's so good with him. She's so amazing with him. I really take a lot of props for her for that. But and then I watched the guys with the girls, and they left. I mean,
they left them out
well,
there. They were more about how to choreograph and whose move was going to go where than they were of what can our girls do to show them off the best.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, it just wasn't a good routine. Yeah. I would have scored them lower than the 8s. I would have gone even lower, but because those girls had it in them to be better than that.
Yeah, and there wasn't hardly any dancing.
No,
there was a lot of posing.
A lot of posing and taking their, well, anyway. Yeah. I did, however, I was really happy for you last night. I thought everybody covered up a lot more than normal.
They did. They did.
I went, well, look at that. Lisa will be happy because their skin's covered up.
There was, and I remember that because, gosh, I can't remember which dance it was. And I was like, there we go.
It's nice, right?
Yeah.
It's nice. You don't have to be naked to look great.
No, and to be a great dancer, you don't.
But what I love is that the show shows that dancing is hard. It's physical. It's an athletic sport. It just is. It's a tough thing, and it's tough on your body. And I appreciate every one of them and all their hard work that they put into it.
Yes.
Everybody deserves to stay and win because in their level, Kim, don't be mad at yourself. You did the best you could with the time that was given to you. Mm-hmm. And you went home early, but someone's got to go home early.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, there are people that were better than you and that are growing. I mean, you were growing too, but there are other people that were growing even more. Mm-hmm. And what do you think? Do you think this is about, we also talked about, and then we'll let you go. We also talked about, do you vote for the star only, or do you vote the pro too, to have them stay? I know we've spoken about that before, but what do you think this season?
I think that people vote on the whole package that they're presented with on Monday night for each team. And if there's something in that package or that's said or not said, I think it sways your vote. So for me...
You mean like Niall comparing himself to Val?
Yeah.
Do you think people go, well, I'm not voting him anymore?
I so knew that was taken out of context, but I do think that you can be left with an opinion and you'll find somebody else that you like. I don't think you vote because you don't like someone. You always vote because somebody touched a chord with you and you want to go put a vote for them.
Okay. What do you, I don't know. I change all the time. I'm pretty much about how well they do, you know, and how they're going through the journey. So yes, I like how they go through the journey. Mm-hmm. If it's helping them to grow, if it's a good endorphin place, yeah, I love the whole thing. I just think music and dance is such a wonderful place to be. So we'd love to hear from you. Mm-hmm. Like to say hi to my mom and dad. Haven't seen them in a little bit. And do you want to have anything to say anything to anybody? Be safe out there. Want to hear from you, Dee Dee and Luann and Ellie and Joan and Carol and Rochelle, all of you guys that always comment. And we'd love to hear from anybody that would like to weigh in and see what you think.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.